It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 8 of The Walking Dead. In this video we're going to be talking about the end of All Out War, most likely the end of Season 8, and the storyline between Negan and Rick. So before we get into this video contains a lot of spoilers from the comics, so if you're not a comic reader, or if you're not caught up with The Walking Dead's comic book series until at least at the end of All Out War, I would say don't watch this video because it will spoil some things for you. So that being said, let's get right into this. So as comic readers know, at the end of All Out War, Rick and the survivors win in the war, but they end up not killing Negan. They put him in a jail cell, and Rick basically lets him see what they can become and that they can grow and everything. So Rick and the other survivor communities grow and rebuild the communities. Obviously we don't see that, but we do see a time jump at that time of 2 years where we kind of get back into it after 2 years and we get to see what happened. And that's when we find out that Rick has put Negan in a jail cell and everything. So that's in the comic books. Now in the TV show, there is something that happened in the trailer which put a lot of question marks in every fan's mind regarding how they're going to remix the story for All Out War and New Beginning story arc that's going to be coming up. We had that scene with Rick waking up as an old man, and again, that was not Rick waking up from the coma. That was basically part of the time jump. So they're hinting that there will be some sort of time jump. So I think that we will see this scene with Rick waking up as an old man at the beginning of Season 8 as a flash forward of what's going to be coming up at the end of the war. So we will see that flash forward from the time jump, and then they will get back into All Out War. We will get that, and by the end of Season 8, we will have that same scene, but it'll be a complete scene where we will see why Rick is an old man and everything. Now, there is something here that is very interesting, and it was brought up by Ronnie Hayes from Make a Path Presents, and that is Negan himself. So before they started filming Season 8, there was a lot of interviews of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, and he had this long beard and everything like that. At the time, me, most like other fans, didn't make too much of it, and we basically just said that they're not filming, he's not involved in filming, that's why he has a beard. But now that we think about it, if the part with Old Man Rick waking up is going to be a flash forward, then it means that it will definitely be in the premiere, because that's the 100th episode, and if they're gonna do that scene, make it look like Rick waking up from the coma of Season 1, Episode 1, then they're gonna have to do it in the premiere of Season 8, because they're doing a callback, so it has to be in the premiere. So if that's in the premiere, and that's basically the first thing they shoot, which it most likely will be the first thing they shoot, and putting that aside with the fact that Jeffrey Dean Morgan had the beard back then when they started filming Season 8, it actually leads to a very interesting idea. They will show us what happens at the end of the war. They will show us Rick wake up just like he does at the end of the trailer. He goes down to where Negan's jail cell is, and we basically see Negan with the beard in the cell at the beginning. So for comic readers, it's not too much of a surprise because we do know it's coming up. It would be a surprise to see it that early, but we kind of know it's happening. But it will be a very interesting twist for non-comic readers because they won't exactly know what's happening until they see Negan, and maybe they could have some dialogue where they explain what happened. But at the end of it, it'll be some interesting way for them to change things a little bit. You know, at the beginning of Season 8, show what happens at the end of the war. And maybe after that, we get to see what actually happened. Maybe even through conversations between Rick and Negan. And I know that there was a theory that I discussed before just like that. And I think that it's definitely likely for that to happen. It has its drawbacks, and I explained that in my other video. But there's definitely an opportunity for them to change things a little bit and make things a bit interesting for fans, so it's not repetitive all the time. So I definitely think that if they end up doing that, it'll be very interesting, to say the least. It'll be interesting to see how non-comic readers react to it and what they make of it, but at least for me, I feel like it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting approach. But I want to know everybody's opinions about this. What do you think about this idea? What do you think about this theory that they tell us exactly what happens at the end of the war, and we get the details of it through conversations, or simply just coming out of the flash forward and letting things continue the same way. Thank you for watching. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.